What if you could hit rewind on your body's internal clock? I mean, not just feel younger, but actually become biologically younger. Today, we're diving deep into the wild, cutting-edge science of human age reversal. So let's just start with the biggest question right out of the gate. Is it really, truly possible to make your body younger, even as the calendar keeps flipping forward? I mean, this has always been the stuff of science fiction, right? But today, it's a field of really intense and pretty groundbreaking research. And to really get our heads around this, we're going to follow the story of a tech entrepreneur who has basically turned his own body into a living, breathing laboratory. We're going to look at his results, what the critics are saying, and the incredible science that's making this whole conversation even possible.
All right, so let's meet the man at the center of all this, Bryan Johnson. He's a software guy who's started this incredibly ambitious personal mission that he calls Project Blueprint.
Yep, $2 million. That is the staggering amount Johnson is spending every single year on this project. And what's the goal? To get back the body of an 18-year-old. But you gotta wonder, what does $2 million a year actually buy you in the hunt for youth?
Well, it buys you an unbelievably strict, data-obsessed lifestyle. I'm talking a vegan diet down to the exact calorie, 1,977. Workouts every single day for an hour. Dozens and dozens of pills. Oh, and a team of over 30 doctors watching practically every single thing his body does. This isn't just a hobby, you guys. It is a full-time, all-consuming job.
So, why would anyone believe that such an extreme lifestyle could actually work? Well, it's all built on this really fundamental scientific idea that every single one of us actually has two different ages.
Okay, so this is the key. Your chronological age, that's just how many birthdays you've had. That number's set in stone. But your biological age, now that's a measure of how healthy your body is, how fast your cells are actually aging. And here's the kicker, unlike your birthday, science is showing us that this number might just be flexible.
So how do scientists even figure this out? They use these really sophisticated tools called aging clocks. Now, these aren't physical clocks on a wall. Think of them more like super smart computer programs, algorithms that look at biological data from your body to spit out an age estimate.
So how does it work? Well, the clock takes in all these biological inputs, things like tiny chemical changes to your DNA. It runs all that information through its program, and then it gives you a single number, your estimated biological age. Pretty wild, right?
And all of this leads us to the $1 million, or, in Bryan Johnson's case, the $2 million question. If we can measure biological age, can we actually change it? Can we slow it down, or maybe even throw it in reverse?
You know what? A growing pile of research is starting to suggest that the answer is yeah. Just look at these results from different human trials where specific changes actually turned back these aging clocks. A plant-based diet plus some lifestyle tweaks reversed biological age by over 3 years in just 8 weeks. Even something as simple as a vitamin D supplement showed a reversal of almost 2 years. The data's pretty clear. Our biological age seems to be something we can actually influence. Okay, so Bryan Johnson's project is a fascinating experiment, but he's not the only one doing this stuff. And that's where it gets really, really interesting, because it lets us do a head-to-head comparison.
So let's meet Chris Mirabile. He's the founder of a longevity company called Novos. Now, when you put his results right next to Johnson's, using tests from the exact same lab, by the way, the numbers are kinda shocking. Mirabile got a biological age reduction of 13.6 years. That is over 5 times more than Johnson. And he did it with a way less extreme and way less expensive approach.
And this chart just spells it out perfectly. It shows another key number, the rate of aging. A score of 1.0 is just average. Bryan Johnson's at 0.76, meaning he's aging 24% slower. That's impressive. But then you see Chris Mirabile's score of 0.69. That means he's aging a whopping 31% slower.
In fact, get this. The independent lab that ran the test for both of them was so blown away by Mirabile's results that they actually said, quite frankly, we haven't seen a score this good, but it is accurate. I mean, that really hammers home the idea that maybe the most extreme path isn't always the best one.
And this brings up some really serious questions about Johnson's blueprint strategy. Critics point out that his super low-calorie diet and incredibly low body fat might actually be doing more harm than good in the long run. On top of that, he's using things like testosterone and high doses of prescription drugs, which creates this complex cocktail with totally unknown long-term effects. It might even be canceling out some of the benefits he's working so hard for.
So this all brings us to the bigger picture. We've got these incredible results, these fascinating stories. But what does the wider scientific community think? What are the huge questions that we still don't have answers for?
So is this it? Have we found the fountain of youth? Well, not so fast. While all of this is super exciting, the researchers in this field are urging a big dose of caution. We are really just at the very, very beginning of understanding what these aging clocks are truly telling us.
Yeah, the big takeaway here is that there's still a ton we have to learn. Like, we don't fully know if these clocks are just measuring the signs of aging or if they're actually tracking the causes of aging. And does getting a lower number on the test automatically mean you're going to live a longer, healthier life? Or is it possible to just kind of trick the test without getting the real benefits? These are the massive questions scientists are racing to answer right now.
So we find ourselves at this really fascinating moment in time. The technology to measure our biological age is here, and it's getting cheaper and easier to access every single day. We have the clocks. The real question is, do we have the wisdom to use them? As all this science moves from the millionaire's lab into our daily lives, the challenge won't just be about reversing our age, but about really understanding what it means to live a longer and a better life.